You know that person who says they're finally going to rest, and then somehow ends up cleaning the kitchen, answering emails, planning next week, fixing one tiny thing, and calling that a break? Yeah, that person is not just productive. They are scared. Scared that if they stop, everything will fall apart. Scared that if they are not useful, they are not valuable. Scared that silence will make them feel everything they have been avoiding. And if you feel guilty every time you do nothing, this is not just a habit. This is psychology. Today we're talking about the psychology of people who don't know how to rest. Here's what nobody tells you. For some people, rest doesn't feel peaceful. It feels unsafe. Not because sitting on the couch is dangerous, but because their nervous system has learned to treat stillness like a threat. When they're busy, they feel in control. When they're needed, they feel valuable. When they're solving problems, answering messages, helping everyone, fixing everything, they feel like they have a place in the world. But the second everything gets quiet, something uncomfortable rises. The thoughts they were outrunning, the emotions they pushed away, the fear that if they stop performing, people will stop caring. So they keep moving. They don't call it anxiety. They call it ambition, discipline, responsibility, being the strong one, being the person who handles things. But underneath all of that, there is often one belief running the entire system. I am allowed to rest only after everything is done. And the cruel part is, everything is never done. There is always one more message, one more task, one more problem, one more thing to clean, one more reason why now is not the right time to relax. Psychologists call part of this conditional self-worth. It means your sense of value depends on what you achieve, provide, solve, or produce. So rest doesn't feel like recovery. It feels like evidence that you are falling behind. This is why some people can have a free Sunday and still feel tense the whole day. Their body is sitting still, but their mind is running a full performance review. Did I do enough this week? Am I wasting time? Should I be further ahead? Why can't I enjoy this? And then, instead of resting, they start judging themselves for not knowing how to rest. That is the loop. But where does this come from? For many people, it starts early. Maybe they were praised only when they were useful, impressive, quiet, mature, or successful. Maybe love felt warmer when they got good grades, cleaned the house, took care of siblings, stayed out of trouble, or made life easier for everyone else. At some point, their brain made a dangerous connection. Usefulness equals safety. And once that connection forms, doing nothing starts to feel like becoming nothing. A child who had to earn approval often becomes an adult who cannot receive peace without suspicion. They sit down and their body asks, "Are we sure this is allowed?" They take a day off and their brain starts scanning for consequences. They ignore a message for 1 hour, and guilt shows up like they committed a crime. To other people, this looks like overworking, but inside it feels like survival. Here's where it gets more interesting. Some people who can't rest are not chasing success. They are avoiding themselves. Busyness becomes a socially accepted escape. Nobody questions the person who is always working. People admire them. They call them driven, reliable, focused. But sometimes constant motion is just panic with better branding. When they finally stop, they have to face feelings they can't handle. Loneliness, disappointment, suppressed emotions, and the fear that if they stop working, people will stop caring. They keep their calendar full, their phone in hand, and their tasks never end, but they can't rest. On the outside, they seem calm, but inside it's panic. They're not chasing success. They're avoiding themselves. Constant motion becomes an acceptable escape. You're not alone. You don't have to be useful to deserve peace. We live in a culture where exhaustion is part of our identity. But rest is not weakness. It's part of discipline. Your limits exist to protect you, not to be ignored. Acknowledge that rest isn't something you earn. It's your right. If this resonates with you, like and subscribe. Find out why some people can't relax and why peace feels unsettling when everything around them is chaotic.